to show is how, you know, after finally beating Omnail, you immediately unlock the next event, which I guess makes sense because, you just beams like, a great storm is coming, or something like that. And then you're like, told to go to the Chancellor's office, and when you get there, it's like, just stay on your guard. Okay. And then afterwards comes easily one of the longest events, like, in the entire game. Mostly because it's like 5 duels all in a row, but you can save in between all of them, if you so please. I was stupid and didn't save in between all of them. I did the first 2 in a row, and that was a bad idea considering how bad the second one is. But yeah, I was just showing, I got a few new cards from the pack that I was able to unlock at level 18, so I decided to go ahead and use it. I think you have to be minimum 18 anyway to do this next event, which is pretty long. First, you have to go to the harbor and sneak in on Chazz, sneaking in on Zane and Alexis. Yeah. And then Chazz is all embarrassed because you figured out he has some sort of love life, or at least he wants to try. And then you have to go over to the beach, and you have to notice Atticus being a ladies' man, because that's about what he is. He has a ukulele and everything in the anime. And he's all big-headed, but he's at least a nice guy. After being trapped for so long, I guess you just kind of want to, be yourself after all that time. Being Night Shroud, he's Batman. And in case anyone's asking, I have seen the first 2 of the Dark Knight trilogy, but I've yet to see the 3rd. Of course, that'll probably change sometime soon, but can't get my opinion on the 3rd. I did love the first 2, though. But now, back to the duel. Atticus is completely useless here. I really don't know why, but he's just so easy this first time you duel him. I mean, his deck is completely centered around the idea of summoning a bunch of monsters, and then, well, using a bunch of monsters for his plans, which he doesn't really have any. I mean, he has like Panther Warrior, but that's a completely useless card because you have to sacrifice a monster to attack with it, and I mean, at 2000 attack, that's not the best effect to use on monster that not that much stronger than most cards you can summon normally without any bad effects like that. Yeah, and I mean, he has like Nimble Mamanga, all those really annoying cards that he can summon Lickety Split. Giant Germ, those 2 are like always showing up. So, really, he doesn't seem to have much of an idea of what he wants to do for, like, damage. Like I said, he had Panther Warrior, but that's not much. And so, yeah, Atticus gets a lot more annoying in the after game. I don't know why, but for some reason his deck gets so much more, like, stall, annoying, whatever the heck you want to call it. And it just frustrates me to duel him in the after game, especially whenever, in the after game, more or less, you're just trying to get all the cards that is possible, and get all the spirits, even though they don't do much for you. Really, it's just kind of a world championship setup where you can just roam free and do whatever the heck you want. Now, I believe here I was thinking, oh, he'll use Mirror Force, which he didn't. But still, you can't be overly precautious when it comes to trying to figure out if he's going to use Mirror Force. Oh yeah, Cannon Soldier. AI is really bad when it comes to using Cannon Soldier, because it will get rid of like every single monster on its field, and then always end with Cam Warrior himself. So, he gets some direct damage, but it's still not much. I really don't get it. Now, I completely lost subject from where I was before. Well, I can say that the next duel, I had to speed up because, once I was done with the Atticus duel, this duel took like 15 minutes on its own. And it's just the absolute most annoying stall deck since Mototani, I believe his name was. Tormaki is the dragon guy, yeah. Since Mototani. And that's really saying something, because you remember how bad Mototani was. And this is at the point where you can deal with the massive amounts of spell and trap cards with Mystical Space Typhoon and Heavy Storm. It's just such a... why deck? Why would you make us go through this crap? And not to mention, the person that uses this deck will actually surprise you. Not to mention, they were trying to base it loosely off his deck in the anime, which was kind of worthless unless he was going off of the whole you have exactly what cards you need at the exact time you need it syndrome that most duels in the anime were. And that was actually a little tricky thing he did there with Statue of the Wicked. But other than that, since I have access to Big Bank Shot and Air Knight Parsaith, this guy went down. I mean, just look at this. All these monsters, and he doesn't even really have a clue what the heck he's trying to do. I said that like 5 times, but I say it bears repeating. What are you trying to do, Atticus? Why is your next deck so good, but this deck so bad? But that's just ranting. I mean, he has a few trap cards that try and trick you into attacking, but it's still not much. There's not much substance to this deck. But now that I've won, I can stop talking about Atticus forever, because, I guess I'll show that you can only unlock him after you finish the main part of the game, but no real need to show his other decks. I haven't been doing that with other people. Speaking of other decks, at the end of the next part, there'll be like 19 people that have changed their decks for no particular reason. Yeah, now watch this. The next event happens immediately afterwards. And all it really is Atticus forcing I almost said her sister. His sister Alexis over, and then Chazz is all like, I love you, Alexis. Wait, what? Because Atticus is trying to force us to date Alexis, and Alexis is all like, no, I'm a bad date. And then Chazz is like, I'll duel you for Alexis. And Atticus is like, okay, let's do so. Yep, that's right. The master of beatdown decks has decided to pull a Mototani on us and have the absolute most annoying stall deck. And in case you're wondering what the music is, it's the first water stage from Mega Man 03 because I freaking love that series, and especially its music. Now, in case you're wondering what it is I hate so much about this deck, it's that it's a stall deck, very similar to Matani, but it has even more cards to annoy you. For example, first off, he uses Mirror Force just right off the gate. The, the two biggest concerns you'll have are all the effect cards that make you lose life points, especially freaking Stealth Bird. I hate that card ever since I played World Championship 06. I hated that card. Whenever I see it, I have to get rid of it because that thing is annoying. It has the weird effect where it can, where if you are able to flip summon it on your terms and not whenever the opponent attacks, it's not a flip effect, then the opponent takes 1,000 damage. You know, like uh, the indirect damage, direct damage, whatever the heck it's called. And the thing is, he has three of them, and they have a pretty high defense, so, trying to get rid of those things is annoying. And his deck is based loosely off of his Ojama cards, but, they're pretty worthless even when they get Ojama King, because all he really does is keep you from using 3 monster zones and 30,000 defense points, but that's it. I think there were more support cards for him in the anime, but I don't know if all of them exist. Yeah, I mean, he uses Oja magic to get all 3 of them, but he never summons Ojama King, even though I think he should have a polymerization at this point. Guess I couldn't really make him fear me. Yeah, he has the annoying scapegoat strategy here. I think, oh, I have a free ticket to finish off this duel. Nope. Have to go through his scapegoat. And guess what? When he gets Magician Girl out, guess which card he uses? That's right. Guess which card he gets back? That's right. There's also Ground Collapse. You can't use 2 of your zones. Then there was Nightmare Wheel, can attack 500 damage each standby phase. But the most annoying by far is the horribly, horribly, horribly annoying card that is Level Limit Area B. It's a limited card, but who cares, because it is such an annoying effect. Every monster that has 4 or more stars, it has to be forced into defense mode. And that's it. The problem is, most of the good cards you'll find are 4 or more stars, especially in my deck. So pretty much, unless I'm able to get rid of that card, I can't do squat. And guess what? Even though he got his Heavy Storm early, I never even got Heavy Storm or even Mystical Space Typhoon until way late. And then, of course, I saw this coming a while ago, but, I had to at least get it over with. It's just... And then he does the most annoying thing ever as soon as I decide to do the smart thing, get rid of Reflect Bouncer so I don't keep on losing my life points to that stupid Nightmare Wheels effect. He uses a second Ground Collapse. So that means I can't use any of my zones until basically I can get rid of one of those Ground Collapses. And again, I've said that before, but that just goes to show how broken some of these, well, most of the continuous spell trap cards are. And you'll be seeing a lot of continuous cards in the next part. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And so here I'm thinking, oh well, I can attack the card. I at least know he has Stealth Bird, so I can try my best to get rid of that. But nope, he uses Ball of Revealing Light, and somehow, for some reason, gives up most of his life points to make sure that I can never attack him. Which leads me to think, okay, I just need to get a few more, then I'm done. So I get rid of one of his, but he still has another. And I'm like, crap, I can't use I can't use Ring of Destruction's effect, because then I lose 1,000 life points, and since it has 700, I would have lost all my life points. So I had to use Adhesion Trapple and then that to get rid of both of those cards, and now I'm just trying to make sure that I don't die. I mean, this duel went down to the wire. I thought I was going to have to redo it again. And look at that. Level Limit Area B. Why? Well, I mean, I know this happened before, but why am I not surprised that he uses that now? So, yeah, I have to use Mystical Space Typhoon on the all revealing lights because any idea I had at that point was always stopped by that card not allowing me to attack with anything under 3,000 attack points, and I don't see any cards even possible to get under 3,000 to get 3 stars with 3,000 attack points. So here I'm just hoping like heck that he doesn't use any card that deals me direct damage. And I remember how this duel ends now. It's a stall. I mean, neither side is doing anything because we're both so occupied. So eventually the duel just ends with me using card destruction to get rid of all the cards in his hand, and since he doesn't have enough cards in his deck to support how many cards he had in his hand, done. The duel is finally done, and I had to win through stalling. Ugh. This, and not to mention, this is like the 7th deck Chazz has had, and he'll have a few more.